Yahweh International. New Foundation Production presents.
Welcome to Archival and the Food for Thought Project, sponsored by Yahweh International and New Foundation Productions. Man, it is Black History Month, and it's such an amazing thing to look back, reflect, and see how far we've come, man. We've come a very long way. And it's easy to just get caught up in the whole slavery thing and stuff like that. But you need to understand something deeper than that. When you think about something as bad as slavery, it can kind of overwhelm you a little bit. You can just get angry and frustrated and upset. And I'm pretty sure the Jews can say that through their years of slavery in Egypt, the Holocaust. You could think about the Japanese when they were bombed and devastated. But what's incredible about loss is recovery. And it really shows the true character of a people, God's people, which we all are. And every culture has had some type of tragedy, some type of deep loss. So when we look at Black History Month, to reflect on how African Americans came to this country, 400 years of slavery, and from that to become innovators, creators, trendsetters, and everything that we are, it is a blessing. It's a blessing. Either it makes you or it breaks you, man. I'm thankful for the sacrifice that a lot of people made for me to even be here talking to you today. And so when we look at Black history, of course, you've got your typical Martin Luther King stuff, your Malcolm X stuff, all of those basic Rosa Parks stuff, all your basic early civil rights history. But it's the history that a lot of people don't even know about, you know, as I try to just pull from my own personal memory from school. Because during my school time, I do think that they focused a lot on the civil rights and stuff like that. But you got to remember that when it comes to Black history, we have done some amazing, innovative, creative things, you know, and lots of time, you know, we drive around and we live life and we don't think about where this came from or where that came from. Perfect example. When it comes to the traffic light, the traffic signal that was created by the African American. You're driving your car every day and you're not even thinking about, wow, that was made by somebody that may look like me, talk like me, and comes from my heritage, my history. You know, just think, if he would have not made traffic lights, what would it be like right now without that? Driving as crazy as it is. People don't know how to drive as it is, and without that invention, I don't even think cars driving would be the same way. It'd be just lawlessness, just ratchetness going on, the Wild West on the roads. And that's a major thing. So much props to him and all the innovations that came behind that, because you got to understand, traffic signals as a whole don't just affect, you got to look at how that branched out. So started with cars, of course, but now think about it. Planes, when they're taxiing, pulling in the gates, just there's signals as a whole probably spun from that, you know, because of the colors, the red, the green, and the yellow. They have really expanded the use of those lights and how they are integrated into everyday life. Even in playground, we play red light, green light. You know what I'm saying? Come on, like, that is crazy to see how this man created something and how it is now currently used in all across the world. I wonder if he knew it was going to be like that. You know, and like, what was his thinking? You know what I'm saying? So when you're inventing something, you're not always thinking that far down the road on how it's going to take off. You may start it, but you don't know how other people are going to come aboard down the line, decades and hundreds of years down the road, and improve it and make it better. And a perfect example of that is George Washington Carver. He made a gang of products from peanuts. we are enjoying a lot of things in the food industry because of his innovations. I mean, people don't realize how much of what he did truly changed the food industry in a massive way. And you can just go down the line of the stuff that he did in agriculture, and it's just ridiculous, that everything that the world is enjoying right now. With every innovator, it always has world impact if you really think about it. And it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing because, coming from a culture coming from slavery, who knows what could have happened if slavery would have never came around and we were just brought under here. If we were brought here under the right circumstances as travelers, traders, and the things we were when we were in Africa, man, could you imagine what the United States would be like? I mean, imagine if we were brought here as partners. Hey, they come over to Africa and they, instead of conquering and taking and enslaving and killing, murdering, they partner, they innovate, they create. The United States would be so far advanced right now, because you gotta really think about that. If 400 years of slavery was there, imagine if that was 400 years of innovation. This is why racism is so dangerous. Just that statement I made. If you take 400 years of slavery and replace that with 400 years of partnering and innovation, oh my goodness. It's mind-blowing, because what that does as a believer, as a Christian, that allows God to truly bless you, bless your nation, bless your country, because what you're doing is you're taking a child of God who has gifts inside of him, and you're not exploiting it. You're giving it opportunity. So if you take that 400 years and you flip that, oh my goodness, unbelievable. Just, you need to give that seriously deep thought. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how many things could have came from that. Where we would be today. Where would America be today if instead of enslaving, they encouraged, they enhanced, they helped, they partnered? Woo! Wow. I'm just blown away just by thinking about it. Instead of hindering, helping. Everything that America wants to do, every development, every great thing America wants to do, it's possible. You ain't gotta wait 1,000 years to do it if you just get on God's plan. If you get in God's plan, instead of waiting 1,000 years for something to happen, it might only take 100 years. See, that's the thing about history. History shows you what can be done, but it shows you what didn't get to happen also, because of people's mindsets and racism and bigotry. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at all of these innovators and these creators, that's the hidden nugget in all of this history, is what could have been, what could have happened if things would have been different. And that's the lesson we need to be taking from Black History Month, is look at the great things that African Americans have done. As an African American, this is what it does for me. I can't say this does the same thing for this I generation, because it's all this generation that's here now. It's all about them, their iPhones, their iPads, I, me. So history doesn't play any real doesn't have the impact that it had on me. So in my coming up, we didn't have all these gizmos and gadgets to keep us busy. We had to look to people to inspire us. So let alone if it was jazz musicians, gospel musicians, teachers, lawyers, doctors, it was always people that inspired us, that kept our minds busy. So when we were in school, we were trying to inspire to be great things based off of the people who were successful. And those people were still alive. A lot of those people were still alive, still creating, still innovating, and they were teaching Black history much, it wasn't the best teaching, but they were still attempting to teach it, versus now they just be blowing right by it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you take a class specifically for Black history. Sad. But the thing you need to understand about Black history for Black people is it's a time of pride and looking back and seeing what we've done. It should inspire you. It should inspire you to be better. It should inspire you to not want to be ratchet, and self-absorbed and money and all that. Our ancestors did not sacrifice so we could be where we are right now. And that's a whole nother topic I can't even get into, why we are where we are right now. Have we come a long way? Absolutely, we've come a long way. But we're digressing, and I've talked about that in other shows, why African American culture is digressing. So that's what it is. That's what Black History Month is for me. It's just inspiring me to be better as African American, as a Black man. Just looking what people did under the hardest of circumstances, during slavery, after slavery. I mean, there's more than enough there. Now, for other people who are not African American, it still is a sense of pride. Like, we're Americans, and acknowledging that, respecting that, embracing that, and nurturing that, mentoring, volunteering. Hey, look, not everybody Black were always my mentors. I've had white, Hispanic, I've had all sorts of people mentoring me during my development as a teenager, as a young adult, as an adult, and as I get older. It's nonstop learning. And I think what people need to understand about Black History Month is you got to look at it from a lot of perspectives. And I think when you're not an African American, other than just respecting and looking at the greatness that we've done, looking what can be done and what could have been done. Like I said, imagine that. Every time I think about it, it just blows my mind. What if we were not brought here as slaves? What if we were brought here as partners, as taking the talents that we had and, oh man, it just blows me away. I guarantee you, just knowing what I know and knowing what African Americans have gone through to do what they've done, if none of those walls and barriers were there, whatever took hundreds of years to do, I'm telling you, it wouldn't have took as long. It just wouldn't. Because when you partner with people and develop things, that's the whole point. But when you take advantage, you enslave, you murder, you kill, you don't know who you killed. You don't know if one of the people that you kill, because God has a plan for everybody. I mean, listen, everybody listen to this. God has a plan for everybody, right? So he knows who you are. He knows the seed that he puts in you, right? So let's just say that one of the slaves, God had put a plan and purpose in him through generation after generation after generation. And clearly that's the case, because some of these innovators are descendants of slaves, which we all are. But sometimes you can kill off a line. You can kill off a God's promise just by being, just doing the wrong thing. And through slavery, I guarantee you, a lot of great opportunities and blessings were killed because of the way slavery happened here in America. I'm not trying to guilt anybody, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is it's not about you, it's about God's plan. So if God put something in place and you're hindering that, you're stopping your own growth and don't even know it. You're stopping your own blessing and don't even know it. Because you don't know who the person is. He might not be nobody right then and there, but you don't know who his kids is gonna be, his kids' is gonna be. You have no idea of the lineage and how that plays out into your current situation hundreds of years down the road. Because people don't think that deeply. People think from the fleshly standpoint. So that's why Black History Month is so important, because it's like every time it's somebody's History Month, it's an opportunity for you to look at that history and see how it plays into your everyday life. And there is nobody's history that does not affect you daily. Trust and believe. Doesn't matter if it's Black, Scottish, Irish, Egyptians, Russians, Ethiopians, you can just Jewish, you can go down the line in culture, and I guarantee you every day of your life, some culture is existing in something that you do and you don't even know. So history is important. So I think Black history is not getting the proper. First of all, a month clearly is not enough, but okay, we got a month, whatever. So with this month, what I feel should be happening is you figure Martin Luther King gets a parade, right? All of this stuff should be wrapped into all of our great people, not just MLK, because he did a great thing, but during that period of time, this month, and it should just be really highlighting these things. Our young people got to see it. It's just got to be more things around telling our history and showing the greatness that we are. It just got to be that way. Because if it's not that way, these kids don't learn it. And once a month ain't enough. It doesn't stick. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask them who Snoop is, who Dre is, who Lil Yachty is, who Kodak Black is, if you ask them about any of them people, yeah, he sings this song, they know the lyrics, they know the song. See, it's repetition. That's the thing that people are missing is, why do you think all these young people know all the lyrics to these songs? It's repetition. They hear it every day. They talk about it every day. They see the videos, da 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 da. So when you look at history, you know, it's repetition. You don't throw it in their face, but your own personal knowledge and expressing, hey, you know, we stand on this elevator right now. Guess who made it? You know, guess who helped develop it, or whatever it may be. You see the traffic light right there. Guess what? Guess who did that? And you know, you just throwing out tidbits. You just sharing things. There's flashcards. There's all sorts of ways to develop Black history within yourself, within your family, within your kids, and within the culture. Because based off of what most people see, they think Black history is our music. Like, that's it. That's the only thing we care about is our music, right? And if that be the case, it's like rap is it. You know, when's the last time anybody talked about Coltrane? They always mess his name up. Monk. I mess his name up all the time. Charlie Parker, you know, any of the greats. You don't hear nobody, like, only, you know, musicians kind of talk about that stuff. But you do what needs to be happening is young people need to know how jazz music plays into hip hop. You know, it's just history. It's just the thing that people need to understand. And without that knowledge, it's hard for our young people to appreciate anything. I guarantee you something in a phone, well, we already know that, from our phones to every electronic device that we have, that we're holding it because of somebody within our culture developing and creating something. You know, one person doesn't get all of the credit. They may start it, but other people touch it and help innovate it and help develop it, and help create it, and make it better. It's just the way the world works. So for me, Black History Month has always been a time of development, reflection, appreciation, just being proud, just knowing who I am in God's plan, and just seeing what you can do if you follow God's plan, if you trust and believe, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want people to take away from this show, is appreciating God's blessing within African American culture and how it affects you every single day. What I like to see people do is go online and do some research. I mean, if I sit here and just tell you everybody, okay, that's one thing. But if you take the time to go online and just start reading about African American inventors, civil rights. I like inventors. That's one of my favorites. The civil rights stuff, you hear a lot about that, but African American inventors and African inventors in general, because before we ever came to this country, our imprint is from there. So just go online and just start researching. It's gonna blow you away. You're gonna be like, what? Because let me tell you right now, let me give you one of the biggest inventions to me underappreciated. And there's no name to this, but the drum comes from Africa. It was created in Africa, it was made in Africa, and it spread because that's ours. Everything you love about drums, it doesn't matter what culture you're from, most cultures use drums, you know, and it has a massive impact on communication because before there was a lot of technology, back in the way back days, that's how people communicated. Drums was a way to celebrate, to pronounce war, to communicate. Drums were just not a musical thing, man. It is deep. That's one of my favorite ones. If I choose my favorite invention, that would be it. I don't even know my life would be without drums because I'm a musician, just straight up. So, yeah, man, that's just what it is. And speaking about music, let's play a little music. I think I'm gonna try to find this song called, and don't misunderstand this title. I think it's called They Don't Understand the Struggle. The lyrics will throw you, but you gotta listen to the whole hook. Let me help you out. I think it goes, they don't understand the struggles of a black man. You gotta stay real. They don't understand the struggles of a black man. You gotta stay real. Just a victim of society, yeah. And then, only Jesus Christ can set you free. I love that song. And I wrote that song because black people be struggling. We struggle so much with our past, slavery, and everything else. And a lot of that stuff is real stuff. You know, we just, every day we going through it. But the only way to free yourself from all of these things that we go through in our culture is Jesus Christ. It's 100. Everything I've been through, man, he's been the only way I've made it. The only way I learned forgiveness. The only way I moved forward. Because at the end of the day, he's the Father. And he is the great I am. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And without him, nothing's popping. You know what I'm saying? So without trusting and believing in what he says and what he's doing and what he has planned, you can't move forward. So I'm going to reach back into the Archies archive and play this song called Stay Real. And it just brings it home, man. It's one of my favorite songs because at the end of the day, no matter what you're going through, you got to stay real because only Jesus Christ can set you free from all of this stuff. It's your boy Archies. Let's get it. So you don't forget where we came from. I'm going to share these stories with you. The struggle goes on. Just because you doing good don't mean everybody else is. That's real. Soldier time. Because they don't understand the struggle. Gotta stay real. Because they don't understand the struggle. Yeah. Gotta stay real. Because they don't understand the struggle. Gotta keep it real, y'all. Gotta stay real. Because they don't understand the struggle. Gotta stay real. Because they don't understand the struggles of a black man. Trying to get up and trying to get out and doing it the best we can. Some in the place that you people call the projects, And in the hood, my people's getting no respect. No respect from the people on the outside. Locking their doors, closing their windows, trying to hide. No longer black, I'm just a menace to society. Now open your ears, cause they talking about you and me. Cause they don't understand the struggles of a black man. You gotta stay real. Cause they don't understand the struggles of a black man. You gotta stay real.
Just a victim of society.
You gotta stay real.
Only Jesus Christ can set you free.
You gotta stay real. They say we all drinking 40s, we all smoke dank. They say we undereducated and we just can't think. And so we sell it, and so it must be true. There was a drive-by shooting, the kid dead at age 2. Juveniles, you living heck of foul. You're wild, you steady tripping, but in the meanwhile, another child just lost up in the race. She's nothing but a number on the case. Check it out now, cause they don't understand the struggles of a black child. You gotta stay real. Cause they don't understand the struggles of a black child. You gotta stay real.
Just a victim of society.
You gotta stay real.
Only Jesus Christ can set you free.
You gotta stay real. Yeah. No matter what your struggle is, there's hope. You have somebody on your side, and that's my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He'll bring you through these situations. Come on. With the rap tat 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 goes the catch you on your back. You live it whack. You need to get your life on track now, A black bean, she used to be my
victim of society.
You gotta stay real.
Only Jesus Christ can set you free.
You gotta stay real. You gotta stay real. You gotta stay real.
Victim of society.
You gotta stay real.
Jesus Christ can set you free.
You gotta stay real.
Only Jesus Christ can set you free. Boy, you better take that in. You feel me? Yo, I love that song because people used to really get thrown by the message. You know, it starts off, they don't understand the struggles of a black man trying to get up and trying to get out and doing it the best we can. Some in the place that you people call the projects. Like, I'm laying the story out of what black people go through, you know what I'm saying, in the struggle. But then I come back with, just a victim of society, yeah. And only Jesus Christ can set you, man. Cause see what it is, it's acknowledging the struggle, right? It's laying it out for people that just don't really understand what it's like, what it feels like. But then it's bringing it home, like through all of that, you can be set free through Jesus Christ. Cause I don't live in projects, man. I've been, whoo. When I was growing up, man, just projects in Lubbock, HP in San Francisco. I done been in the projects. I grew up in the projects as a child. I remember it like it was yesterday. I know what it's like to be really poor, and I know what it's like to be filthy rich. But, you know, through it all, you can have nothing and be happy. And you can have everything and be completely miserable. Trust and believe. That's why that message is so important, because it doesn't matter where you at. If you ain't got God in your life, you're not going to be, you're going to struggle. You have everything and struggle. So I love that song because it's so encouraging to me. And I really wanted the young people to know that you need to focus on something other than your situation and keep your eyes on God and keep your morality in check and keep your dreams alive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's everything. That's everything. You know, because kids, young people, shoot, adults, we can get thrown off. We can completely lose focus. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a social media type of situation going on right now. It's all about what people see on social media. Not the accomplishments we've already done. Not God's plan. It's just, social media, like, post. You know, it's just ridiculous. None of that matters. All that matters is that God has a plan and purpose for you. And Black History Month is a true representation of what can be done if you let God have the wheel. Let him do the driving. You need to be the passenger for a while. You need to buckle up and just say, Lord, wherever we going, I'm riding with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be a great journey. Everything's not going to be, roses. It's going to be some struggles. Struggles make you stronger and it makes you better. If you look at the history of a lot of our inventors, a lot of our civil rights, you're going to really understand what struggle is, what they had to do to accomplish their goals, overcome all the obstacles, hurdles, haters, and everything else. We don't have struggles, man. We don't, they're out here killing us. Yeah, but back then they was out there lynching us, burning us. I mean, they was killing us in a way that we ain't struggling. I'm just gonna put it out there. Do bad things happen? Absolutely. But you need to look at the circumstances of the things that were happening back then. You understand what I'm saying? Vote? School? What are you talking about? You couldn't vote. You couldn't go to school. Through a lot of those periods, through the early history of after slavery. You better ask somebody. Just think about the 60s alone. You can go from the 60s. Matter of fact, I almost gave my age up. You can think about the late 60s and back, and it'll put it all in perspective of what struggle really is. Instead of you being mad because you can't get the latest iPhone or whatever it may be, you're going to pay $1,000 to somebody who ain't even blessing your life right now. Man, please, I got a Note 3. You feel me? I'm not going to keep pumping money into
somebody else's pocket. I'm gonna hold on to this note 3 as long as I can and keep as much money in my pocket as I can and develop my own stuff. You feel me? I want to be an innovator. I want to create. I want people to look back at my history and go, hey, Arquise, you know, he impacted my life. You know what I'm saying? There are things I think I've definitely done in my lifetime. People can look back and go, yo, that Arquise. Let me give you a perfect example. Right now, all these rappers is rapping and singing. But if you take some of my oldest albums from dag near the late 80s, I was rapping and singing before most people were doing it. Matter of fact, in that whole area, a lot of rappers were rapping and singing. I can't take credit for just being the first one though, but but just when you think about that, you know, people who listen to my music, you know, there's young people that I know that are in the music industry right now who grew up listening to Christ Side or Arquise or Food for Thought and straight up got and fed off of that and be like, yo, I like what he's doing. You know, he's innovative, whatever it may be. My approach to music, whatever it is, whatever you do has impact. You know what I'm saying? So we got to always remember that. We always got to keep that in the back of our minds. Like everything we do matters and has influence. History matters and has influence. Black history matters and has influence. It's not just a snack, it's a full meal. Matter of fact, it's a buffet that you can keep going back to over and over again and getting fed. If you're ever feeling like you like kind of lost within your own self and that you're just going to work and working a job, all you got to do is reach into history and find motivation. You can start with God, the Father himself. He's all the motivation you need, but you can just reach back into history of any country, any culture, anybody. I'm impressed with the world as a whole and what we've accomplished. The innovations that have happened through partnerships between trade and commerce and all sorts of things, man. Just individuals just being great in God's purpose and developing amazing things. Man, Black History Month for me really makes me think about God's greatness. Because these people, you got to understand, one thing about history and innovative and people being innovative and creating, we're tools, first of all. We are tools for the Father. Every song, everything I make, let alone if he stamps it or not, I'm only able to do it because of him. There are songs that he absolutely came down and said, this is the song I want, and I'm going to help you develop it. And then there, of course, a free will. There's songs that I do, and he probably sits back and go, okay, you know, I wouldn't have done that. But, you know, it's just, but the reality is I know that my gifts and talents are from him. So I'm creating because of him. It's just the way it is. You get up every day, you go to work every day. Everything about you is because of him, you know? So don't work every day and go home every day and make a meal every day and feed your, don't do the same routine every day. Do something innovative. Inspire somebody. Do something so out the box. Kids come home and like, what's this? It's a sweater, I knitted it. What? You don't even know how to knit. I've been practicing knitting for a while. What? I made you this hat. I made you this glove. Or somebody comes home and there's a you made something out of wood. You gotta get your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your mind invested in you and your hands doing things. Do something. That's what I take from Black History Month. Do something. Be something. Be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't sit back and watch everybody else be great. You be great. You step out on your blessing. Well, I've never did this. I've never did that. Because you ain't never tried. Well, when I did it, it wasn't great. Because you got to keep doing it. You got to keep digging at it. You got to keep going hard. You can't just be kind of wishy-washy with it. You got to trust and believe that it's going to get better. You might not be the best singer now, but you might be the greatest singer later. You might not be the best builder now, but you might be the best builder later. It's just how it works. You got to put in to get in. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. That's how Black History Month inspires me. Arquise, what you gonna do next? Oh man, let me see here. What am I gonna do next? Okay, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. I have tons of ideas. And a lot of that stuff comes because of the sacrifices that people made within my culture and within just other people's culture too. Just be better. Like, yo, this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness, don't get me going. I see God in everything that, that's great. That's how I see it. You wouldn't be great if it wasn't for God. And that means God has purpose for you. And that means he has purpose for me. It's your boy Archival, man. I need to play another song. Let me look through the archive. I'm digging back. Look, I'm going old school today. I'm going to play some songs you've never heard before. Hold on a second. Let me dig in here and see what I got. It's your boy Archival. I'm probably going to go to some early Archival or Christ side stuff. Hold on a second. Let me see what I got. It's your boy Archival, Food for Thought Project. Christ side. You the one that picked me up when I was broken. So many things I wanted to say, but never spoken. So much suffering and so much pain. And every day I felt like I was going insane. And running away is the only way I knew to cope. You found me in the hood, living with no hope. A young thug with nothing to lose. So you took my hands, you said you need to choose.
You are the one that took away my pain. You are the one that makes me raise my hand and sing. You are the best part of me. You're the one, the only one.
At first it was hard to do the right thing. So when I gave it to you, I heard the angel sing. Now something's different, something's going on. Cause when I try to rap, I'm singing a new song. I couldn't rap about those same old silly things. I'm bringing hope and healing by any means. The streets are crying, so many lost. They don't understand you already paid the cost.
You are the one that took away my pain. You are the one that makes me raise my hand and sing. You are the best part of me. You're the one, the only one.
When I think about the promise that you made to me, that's my dad, that's my sisters, and now you see. My heart is healing now, I got a new love. Everything I want is sent from the Father above. There's so many people, there's no need to say your name. You kept it real, and you never changed. So thank you, Lord, for putting them in my life. Right side, y'all, so now I'm living it right. Right side.
You are the one that took away my pain. You are the one that makes me raise my hand and sing. You are the best part of me. You're the one, the only one.
Song, you're the one. Yeah, he the one. He the only one, straight up, man. I love that song. Yeah, I was in Japan and this song was supposed to be on one of the albums and I forgot to send it. My bad. Hey, we want to thank Yahweh International and New Foundation Production, Robert, and everybody that supports him, man, and all the board and everybody. Look, you're making a difference. And I just want you guys to know that I see things moving. Things are definitely happening. I can tell on my Instagram, Facebook, and everything that I'm doing that sometimes it's like a slow train pulling out of the station, but in reality, you are heading to your destination and then it picks up speed and before you know it, you're right where you want to be. It's your boy Keys, man. And we were talking a little bit about Black History Month, but I want to keep playing some music and just, put some good food for thought in your mind. And we're gonna find some more music, man. I'm trying to really go back into the archive because we're talking about history. So I'm trying to find songs that you haven't heard. Some unknown history about Christ side or Keys or whatever I've done in the past. So let me take a look and see what I can find. It's your boy Keys, Food for Thought Project. It's your boy Wisdom.
And right about now, I want to dedicate this song to all the single mothers out there. I understand you've been lied to, manipulated, and done wrong. But you gotta know, there's a better way. There's somebody who loves you, the greatest love of all. And I'm here to tell you, you're gonna set it straight, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ready to ride? Here we go.
Ladies, I know you seen them on my videos. Ladies, aren't you tired of them calling you bees and them hoes? Oh, ladies, he sees you raising them on your own. And ladies, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time he tried to spit some game? He called you up and said that love was driving him insane. So let me come over and let me spend the night. I'll be your good boy, everything'll be alright. You slept on the floor and then moved to the bed, and all that hugging and kissing was straight to your head. The room was spinning and spinning, and y'all was moving and moving, and y'all was grooving and grooving. It felt so good. You know your flesh has got you in a really bad space. No protection, just projection as it leaves your place. Now you're laying in bed, you're feeling so confused. Tears is falling from your eyes cause you feeling used.
I know you seen them on my videos. Ladies, aren't you tired of them calling you bees and them hoes? Oh, ladies, he sees you raising them on your own. And ladies, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone.
Yeah. And there was no more dinners and no more hanging out. He got what he wanted, he said you was played out. But you waited by the phone, you hoped that he would call. There goes winter and spring, then summer, fall. So much has changed, and now you have this baby. You wanna call him up and then you stop and say maybe he won't care, and maybe he'll get mad. And so you fall to the floor cause you're feeling so sad. And now you're on your own, you your baby without a man. You gotta understand that was not in God's plan. So put God first, girl, just let him take care of the rest. No more drama, no more players, baby, no more stress.
Ladies, I know you seen them on my videos. Ladies, aren't you tired of them calling you bees and them hoes? Oh, ladies, he sees you raising them on your own. And ladies, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone.
Yeah. And when you try to tell him, it really got crazy. He started yelling and cussing and saying that's not my baby. You tryna get my cash, you tryna take my money. And why you tripping, girl? You know this isn't funny. He kept on yelling and yelling, you kept on screaming and screaming. Your child is seeing and seeing. Whoa. You say you had enough, I think it's time you leave. You wipe your tears, girl, with your other sleeve. Spiritually, you just in a whole nother place. Cause God has stepped up and took a sorry brother's place. God is what you want, he's what you need, he's what you gotta have. God is what you want, he's what you need, he's what you gotta have.
Ladies, I know you seen them on my videos. Ladies, aren't you tired of them calling you bees and them hoes? Oh, ladies, he sees you raising them on your own. And ladies, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. Cause he's the one that really wants you, the one that really wants you, the one that really needs you, the one that really needs you, the one that really loves you. Oh yeah, baby, yeah. Oh yeah, he's the one that really wants you, the one that really wants you, the one that really needs you, the one that really needs you, the one that really loves you, baby, yeah. Oh yeah, you're alone at home, just call it Jesus. When you're walking down the street, just call it Jesus. When you're chilling in your ride, just call it Jesus. Baby. I need you right
tell me you heard that one. No, you haven't. You have not heard Ladies. So this was another song that was supposed to make to the Christ-Side Soldier album. And what happened was we had two major hard drive crashes, and we lost the Pro Tools files. So this was an MP3 that barely made it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like the only version of that song that even exists. So of course, because it wasn't, mixed right, I didn't want to put it on the album, but it was really one of my favorite songs, because at the time when we were out ministering, it was when a lot of young girls back in the day were just dealing with pregnancy, and a lot of young women were struggling in their relationships. And really today is really no different. It's a lot of the same. And feeling abandoned. We were dealing with a lot of abandonment issues with a lot of single mothers raising kids on their own. And that's where that song was really just telling ladies, like, ladies, you're not alone, that God is with you. He sees your pain, he sees your struggle, and know that he's here. And just comforting them and telling their story, And it comes from a few stories, actually. The young ladies were telling us about their situations and things that they were going through. So I kind of compiled variations of the stories that we heard, and as we were ministering and putting that song together. So it's a powerful song, man. The church was not ready for that. I think we did that song maybe. I'm mostly on the song. Matter of fact, I'm the only one on the song. I think we did that song 3 times. And those churches were real progressive type of churches, because they were dealing with a lot of street ministry. So, it wasn't nothing that was shocking them. You know what I'm saying? It's like what happens with young people that are not connected in the right way to God. And even, matter of fact, to be honest, even if they are connected, because I remember one church we did it at, and the pastor came to us after. He said, I know that was a tough song for us to do. He wasn't really sure about it at first, but he actually thanked us because, without divulging people's privacy, he said that we've been dealing with teenage pregnancy within the church. So I really appreciated him coming out and saying, hey, just showing us love on that, man, because a lot of churches wouldn't let us do it. There was a period in Christ-Side's history where we always had to pre-send music because we were so not churchy. I know that's hard to believe, but we were a little radical, and we got real popular at a time, and we were not the gospel-y type of Christian rap groups, John this and Psalms that. We wasn't quoting scriptures and stuff. We were street gospel rap. We were street soldiers. I think at the time we called that street gospel. So a lot of churches would always say, can you guys send us your playlist? I'm like, yeah, we'll send you our playlist. So no to this song, no to that song. Thug's Tale, no. Ladies, no. Just want to hear it. But the reality is a lot of the kids was dealing with a lot of the content. But denial within the church. They want to just polish themselves to make them look a certain type of way. But we always knew what was going on, because the kids would hit us up and they would tell us after church, like, man, I love that song. I wish you would have did this song or that song. Kids always requested the songs that the church didn't want us to do after the fact. So, but we're thankful, and I feel blessed that we were able to impact communities the way we did. And just to be able to share some of these songs with you guys, Ladies and Stay Real, and some of the songs that never made it to albums. That's a blessing, because I never thought I'd be playing them. Just today, because we're talking about Black history, and we're talking about history, and I'm Black, I'm playing songs from my history. So it's just a good way for me to reflect on my own personal growth and the things that I've done. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys. It's some songs that have just really impacted me and my ministry. It's your boy Keith in the Food for Thought Project. And, today we were just kind of chilling, like you at my house hanging out, man, just having a good time. And I want to thank Robert and the board and everybody over there at Yahweh International New Foundation Productions for the opportunity to reach people and to share love and to encourage people and to continue to follow God's plan and purpose for me, for Yahweh for New Foundation Production and everybody involved. I hope you guys are touched by today's program and continue to support us and keep believing in God. Keep moving forward. Learn forgiveness so you can be bigger, better, and greater. It's your boy, Keys. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Peace out.